right. So, hey everybody, Joe Fay here. We're broadcasting live from Pennsylvania, and here we have our good friends Urix from the Pennsylvania area with their A8. And Bruce, you're gonna show us something. What do you got?
I've got a collection. We're going to try and do it at some point. These are from matchbooks. This was the advertisement from a matchbook that focused on checker cabs, but the phrase 5 can ride as cheap as 1 really is a checker only type of activity.
And how many do you have here?
I just have the one.
Just the one? Okay.
We'll get
for today.
But the plan is we're going to get these all scanned.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get them up on the Facebook site as a photo album.
Yeah, we can do that.
Excellent. So we're here today. We're going to keep broadcasting throughout the day. Do you want to give us a quick tour of your car while we're here?
1956 A8, green and yellow, which means it was a fleet color. And I just added fleet number.
Fleet number 28.
Cap 28.
So this would be a fleet car for and this could have been a fleet color used in either New York City or Chicago or Philly. A lot of folks don't realize that there were fleet colors. My A4 is the yellow and green, which is the fleet colors.
Chicago, yeah.
And how long have you owned this car now?
Almost 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been almost 20 years, and it was finished in 2004.
And how long did it take you to actually restore it?
It was 5 years in the shop.
5 years, okay.
Yeah.
I remember now. There was a question that came up on Facebook the other day about these roofs. So these roofs are have a higher belt. In a curve, they have a higher belt line.
You can compare it to 76.
Right.
Chris's 76 next door.
So I know you used an A11 or an A12 roof to help restore this. Did you have to raise it up?
No, what they did was they took out the outer skin of the roof, and they were going to put a 70 roof on it. And they found out that, hey, this roof is curved, but the later roofs are all flat. So this much of the roof right behind the checkerboard is a 70.
Okay.
That's from the 70, and then they put the old skin back on top.
Okay.
And then redid all this in metal.
Amazing.
So, and you can also see how much smaller the rear window is compared to a 76 next door.
Put these in it, try to make it work.
Yeah, you can see the gap between here.
So you know what you could also try.
And then the gap between here is significant, really big. Yeah, I think it was on Facebook the other day. There was a red cab, a little picture, and Mike Pincus wanted to know what it was. I immediately said an A8, and he's like, "How do you know that?" And the answer was the roof line. You could just tell.
And the rear window.
Right.
That's the bigger one, because the front window is the same through 67.
Bruce, can you tell me about the taillights?
Taillights are from a 54 Pontiac wagon. Okay. That was the factory installed taillights. They must have bought a whole lot of old ones, and that's what they put in there.
Because checkers are known as the Iron Bastards, and there was a parts bin car. There are other parts too on this car that are not, that come from other cars, right? Like the headlights, right? Aren't the headlights?
Headlight covers are Willis. That's Willis.
Yep.
Turn signal or Henry J.
Yep.
Front end is a Ford. Brakes are Studebaker.
Steering is Studebaker too.
Yeah, steering is Studebaker.
Now, what I actually like, and people don't realize, a lot of people complain about these big girder bar, straight bumpers. But the original bumpers that they had on the A8 was a straight across bumper.
Yeah.
And in many ways the profile of these two cars are kind of similar, because these fenders are also taller, and then that bottom bumper lines up with the bumper over here.
And you can see
for broadcast.
You can see the line comes down here as much. You actually have it down on there.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why you have that. This is one of the differences. This little shelf coming up.
Right. This balance, and they had this as well on the 8, 9.
Yeah.
It was a little different. I think it kind of came up to the top. And then 61, they raised up the bumper.
Right.
So the bumper now touches the...
And that's when they put the dip in the center.
Right, the dip with the center dip, and the bumper touches the bottom of the grill, like it does on that one.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll wrap up the broadcast right now, and we'll come back later today. But again,
more cars here.
we have more cars and more fun. Thanks, everybody. Chris Hunter waving. Michael Pincus, you're on live TV. About 2 feet.
Right up there. Hey Joe, where are we?
Mr. BB, you're going to take a right here at that Pontiac, and you'll go 2 rows.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks, Joe.
You're live on Facebook right now as I speak. So while the BBs are parking, you can see here this is a gigantic event, and here we have our Camaros, and this is the Studebaker crew, and then the Packard crew is over here as well, and then behind the Packards are the checkers in between the Chevys, and right now this is checker number 4. I know Ed Fox will be coming soon, so thinking that there's probably only going to be about 5 or 6 checkers today, and we go through our normal protocol here to park. Bruce is doing an excellent job of direction.
Follow me when he's straight.
Come back.
We're going to line her up.
Come back. All right, now turn the wheel to the left. Turn the wheel to the left. No, the other way. The other way.
So you can see here the Internet Checker Taxi Cab Association or Archive, whatever the hell our name is now, has a unbelievable crew of handlers to handle these massive pieces of automotive history, and looks like we're complete. So there we go, it was done. More to follow. Okay, folks, again, we're going to do another quick live broadcast here. I'll get my ugly mug out of here, and we're going to introduce you guys to Mike Pincus. Everybody knows Mike. Mike is one of the top 10 posters in our group. He didn't know that, but I saw that metric last night. And Mike's going to tell us a little bit about his car here. Go ahead, Mike. Give us the song and dance.
1981 Checker Taxi, original New York City, 1.26 million miles. Original driver Fitzgerald Cajuste. It was the 4th to last to go off the road in New York City.
So what year was that? 98 or 99?
Went in 97.
97.
Here's some. It went off actually February 14th, Valentine's Day in 97.
Oh man, okay. So you've got the full documentation sitting here in a book.
And he passed away in April, 2 months later.
Wait. So how long was he driving this car?
He drove it from 82 to 97.
And then he died.
Died 2 months later.
It killed him. So driving a checker killed him.
that could be. Original warranty certificate, the odometer statement, the supplemental dealer warranty.
Wow.
This is a screenshot of his license, which I'll show you. I recreated.
How did you get a screenshot of his original license?
There was a documentary done on him.
Okay.
that I have that's posted on YouTube.
Okay, we'll have to post that in the wall.
This is the original New York City postcard that 7A70 was on. Another one.
Artwork.
And the
We got
third one.
artwork. Oh, look at that. So
Three New York City.
your car is famous.
Yep. And this is actually a shot from the AP Photo Archive. If you search AP Photo Archive for Checker Taxi,
And that's the guy.
that's Fitzgerald Cajuste. And he was going to Japan. They were loading his car in this picture up to go to Japan. They were shooting a movie. So
this car, did it go to Japan?
It did go to Japan.
So this car went to Japan and then came back.
and then came back.
Holy mackerel.
And then this Chris Monnier in France took these pictures. He was in the car. I think it was 95, I want to say, when he was in the car.
So your car literally is a famous checker.
I would say so. And a New York Times articles that mentions Fitzgerald, and in '93 it had 800,000 miles. Now it currently has 1.266 million miles.
Holy mackerel. So why don't you want to give us a walking tour? So you're like an original kind of car guy.
Yes, I like
you
to
don't
keep everything original. Everything that I rebuild, I like to keep original. So if it's whatever it is, I rebuild to original.
So you'll rebuild to original, but if there's bubbling like on a fender, you're gonna kind of leave that there, or will you eventually get to it, or what?
Eventually, I'll have to address these kind of situations.
So you'll want to leave it original, but to the extent that the car could become damaged to the point where you got to save it as well. So okay.
So this is actually, you'll notice that this is Fritz's original bead seating, meter, everything down to the to this magnet that was there is original to the car.
So for example, with Daniel Smith working on the Seattle Checker, all of that content at the dash would be original from Seattle Cab.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep, and it has original. There's air conditioning. It has original fans.
Look at that. Oh, and
3
it
fans.
spins too. Look at that.
They go back and
They
forth.
go back and forth. Wow.
Has the original jump seats, and these are actually, I found out, toilet seat covers that are again original to the car.
So they probably came from Kmart or McCrory's or one of the local department stores.
And if you notice, the seats are Cadillac seats that the drivers used to switch out the original bench seat. So more comfortable seats.
And so was this a Cadillac from a 70s era Cadillac seat, or?
I think it was in the 80s.
80s. So okay, so they would literally get new Cadillac seats.
And it turns out that they were in the fixed position, and he was, my understanding, about 6'4". So he ended up. I mean, I'm only 5'8", and my legs are scrunched when I drive.
So you have to like put a pillow.
Right. So if you see a video of him, his leg is like pointed out towards the passenger seat. This is, I just recreated, one thing I didn't have was his original license, and I recreated it from documentation and photos.
And then we have the other fan that's down here. Now what's the speaker for?
The speakers are original speakers from this AM radio that's underneath here.
Okay.
Okay, and they were completely blown out, and again, to keep originality, what I did was I had them rebuilt, which the person who was helping me rebuild thought I was crazy to, because they're just real, they're just Radio Shack old.
They're junky things. Why would anybody spend any money to?
Exactly, but I had them rebuilt on the inside.
Amazing. The world famous Checker logo. I'm well familiar with that logo, having had to face challenges over it. Now he's gonna pop the hood.
One thing that I am extremely disappointed when I open the hood, you'll notice the alternator is new. My mechanic did not know my obsession with saving originality, and he changed the alternator without telling me, and he recycled it as a core.
Could you conceivably like go to a guy like Joe Pollard or Daniel Smith or Ben Merkel and find one and have it rebuilt and then have that appearance? Okay.
Yes. But otherwise, the air conditioning needs to be rebuilt.
Okay. And I notice there's no shroud here on the.
No shroud.
So the mechanics are at risk of losing fingers if they weren't careful.
Yep. And I will have that air condition rebuilt.
And as we see, original will then include patina and actual grease.
Someone said it probably was in an accident at one point.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Got a seam.
There's a seam there, welded. Oh, okay. You're right.
Oh yeah.
So It's a very special car.
All right.
Will
Again,
die with me.
as all our checkers will, Mike. Thank you so much. And again, we'll do another tour in a bit, maybe with Chris or Bruce. We have another checker. Bruce is listening right here.
We got more checkers coming. Yeah, we got one more.
Yeah, we've got the navy blue one.
They were passing us as we're coming back. So
Good. How you doing?
ah.
That brings us to 6 checkers. And they're all lined up.
I'll tell you when to stop.
All right, and as you can see, Bruce, as usual, Bruce has everything under control. One more foot, Bruce. All right, I guess that's good.
How you doing?
All right, we're going to end for now. We'll come back and take photos of all these cars and keep doing more of the updates for the rest of the day. Well, we have 6 checkers, and this is Christian Hutter's checker, and then we have Bruce Urick. And Mike Pincus's. And this is you're on live Facebook. This is Bruce Beebe's. This is Nicole and Jimmy's. And this is George's. And I think we had 8 last year, so every year we seem to shrink a little bit. So gotta keep these cars coming out here, because if we don't get them out, they're gonna fade to history. But here's some little ones. So the good news is there are little folk here. We're gonna have checkers. So we'll just do the.
He's gone.
And you can see here the checkers do bring a crowd. You're always going to find folks who are gathered around, having a ball. So people.
That's hot.
If you can see, I'll show you.
Hey folks, we're here again at the Pennsylvania show with our buddy Christian Hutter. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your checker?
Gladly. So this is a 1976 Checker A11 taxi. Obviously I've done a little restoration work to it, isn't a lot. Acquired this about 6 or 7 years ago, got it out of Colorado. Belonged to a company in Colorado called the Colorado Serum Company, which is still in business and makes animal pharmaceuticals. They had 5 or 6 Checkers that the owner really enjoyed being driven around in, and they used them to transport their people. So the owner passed away not too long before, sold the cars, and I was able to acquire one.
So the owner liked the Checkers, but nobody else probably liked the Checkers.
As I did a little research, they had an 81 that the mayor of Denver purchased and converted to propane and used as his transportation for Denver, Colorado. So kind of a neat story behind that. This car came to me through the great power of eBay, and the eBay pictures looked pretty good with a yellow paint job on it. The reality came to me as it came off the back of the truck, and it wasn't so good.
So even as a Colorado car, it wasn't dry.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. The reality wasn't great, as most Checker owners know as you start peeling back the layers. So ultimately, what I did is found a body shop that could do much better work than I could do. Stripped the car, and ultimately ended up replacing all 4 fenders, outer fenders, new old stock on 3. The right front had to be a donor that was decent. Rocker panels, floors.
How long ago did you do that?
This is going on about 4 years now.
4 years, okay.
Yep. C-pillar, door skins,
Oh,
you
wow.
name it. Cars had a lot of new sheet metal put on.
So you basically remanufactured it then?
Pretty much. It's, I have to say, if I were to do it all over again, I might as well have just gone frame off, because it was almost to that point.
Okay.
Came pretty close. So, restored it, been showing it here at McCungie for a couple years. Thanks to friends of mine, Doug Cloud being one of them. I got involved in the AACA, and I've shown it at Hershey now twice, and I'm proud and happy to report that, here's my son Gavin, that
Keeping the young involvement in.
oh yeah, he'll learn to drive on this someday. Not too soon though.
What? No.
Yeah, not too
We
soon.
saw the 10-year-old French kid not too long ago.
Yeah, right. Whose name is also Gavin. Oh no, that kid, right? Sorry. So AACA, I got my first place junior 2 years ago, and now I have my senior badge. So I got a first senior last year that I plan to put on it, and next year the Grand Nationals will be out east. So I'm hoping I'll be ready for the Grand Nationals. And see if I can get
So
that
you're
award.
gonna. We have all different spectrums of Checkers, even at this show.
Yes.
And you're one of our high-end, doing us proud on the Pebble Beach set.
Yeah, I don't know if Pebble Beach will have me, but I'm trying my best. So, yeah, car continues to evolve. As everyone, all Checker owners know what they got to fix on their
Right,
cars. So I've got a few things left to go.
So let's just ask Gavin what he thinks about this Checker.
Yeah, great.
So Gavin, we're gonna wrap up the video, and you're just don't be nervous, don't be scared, because you're on Facebook Live right now. Millions of people are watching you.
Yeah, that'll help.
Why do you like this Checker?
Because my dad used to. I like watching my dad work on it in the garage.
That's great.
And he
So
helped.
a father and son experience with a Checker.
Yep.
Wonderful. Great.
He's done me proud, and I hope my father's proud too, looking down on us. He passed away a few years ago.
Okay.
Our family business was a cab company, which is why I've got a connection to Checkers. I learned to drive in one when I was 11.
All
And
right.
that's so alive.
And-
Don't tell your mother.
What?
All right. And we'll post up that blog of you about your family and your family business
Yes.
too again.
Super.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Take care.
Tony, you're live on Facebook. Smile.
There may be one other car. At Fox may also be here.
Yeah, he's supposed to be here.
Right. So try and back in if we can. Yeah, we'll watch front and back. Okay.
Rev it up real high.
Yeah.
It won't go anywhere. So I think we got a major fail here with Bruce. He's not doing really a good job this time.
Why don't we go to the flags? Good? Yeah.
Alright. If necessary, I can try.
Ed,
You can thread that needle? I don't know if I can thread this needle. Though.
Hey, we'll try.
Ed, you're live on Facebook, so be careful.
This cloth is so big, I don't know why they just spread the cloth out.
Hey, Bruce, can I get this pole down? Can I put this pole down and move it closer?
Yeah, pull it
Yeah, we can do that. Tony, careful. Hold on. Just pull, really, just right up. There we go. Pull that.
I'll get it. I get it. You can get in the car.
All right, folks. This is more of a production, so we're not gonna film this one.
Hi everyone, I'm Ed Fox. Let's see, I'm from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, and I wanted to show you my 62 Marathon. It's got the original Continental overhead 6-cylinder engine, and I just drove here. It was about an hour and a half.
That's an interesting color. The white?
Well, it turns out I got this car from Bob Welsh's son. Remember Checker Bob?
Yep, Checker Bob.
His son got this car from his dad, and as he was working on things and replacing them, he painted them white. So, for example, I know that this isn't original either because
That was how he
Jeff
marked.
Welsh painted it
That's
white.
how he marked that it was something he had done.
Right, right.
White. Interesting concept.
But it runs like a top. It just made a 90-minute trip. The only thing is, it doesn't have a safety latch for the hood, so I had to pull over 4 times. I had tied it down, but I still had to pull over 4 times and really
Push it down.
wham it down lest I die today. So,
Is this a repaint, or is this the original?
well, you know, it's the original color, but I'm sure it's been repainted.
Okay.
It's that rose beige. Or,
It's almost the same color that Pincus had on his 60.
It was very close. In Hershey, we parked next to each other to kind of compare and contrast, and it was very close.
Now, there was much debate on Facebook about the white walls. Why don't you tell us about the white walls?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I just took a tip from advertising literature. You know, a couple of the Checker car ads in '62 showed a marathon with those white wides, and I like them anyway, so I said,
How's the interior?
shot.
Oh, okay. All right.
Take a look. It's destroyed.
Okay.
But if you see the black over there by the emergency brake pedal, I just had the floors
No,
patched.
you had the floors done completely. Look at that. It's nice.
I just had the cancers all patched. I think with that Pour 15 product.
Yeah, okay. When you drive, is it still, it's like rattly, or is it solid? How would you describe the drive right now?
Solid. Solid.
Solid?
Yeah. You
Have-
really feel like you're commanding a machine.
I always describe it as like a Checker hum. There's just like a hum to it that kind of resonates through the chassis. Did you pick
I'll
up
tell
that?
you what. I'll tell you what. It's like this. At 50 miles an hour, it has a hum. At 70, I learned it has a wobble.
Okay.
Like the whole thing's about to fall apart.
Okay.
Like my hood was dancing, and not only that, my fenders were moving. It's like the whole car wanted to just like lift off.
And that's why, as I described my trip to New York City in my A8, was like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, yeah.
How about chrome? Have you had the chrome done, or is
I have
that?
not. I have
So
not.
I
only
bet you it's
polished-
original. It does. I mean, it doesn't look like it's done over. It just looks like it's really good old chrome.
And the car has very low mileage. It was really baby. That's why I'd like to get to the bottom of who it was built for.
Yeah.
It's too old for the Gilmore records.
It's too
But
bad.
Chris Markin found the date of construction for me, but not for who.
Okay.
And I'd love to know because they babied this car. It only has 46,000 miles. on it.
Oh, this is barely broken in.
Barely broken in.
So there's really, I mean, that rust was just residual rust from leak or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like driving rust.
No.
No, because the fenders look really dry. I don't see any bubbling or anything like that. They look, and I don't.
Some.
But even it's also real straight though. I don't see a lot of waves in it.
That's true. I used to plant.
My Ford has more waves.
But next time, now that the floor has been repaired, I'm really hot to reupholster it. And you know, I was going to because I know how we are in the club. Like it kind of doesn't matter what you do, just as long as you're enjoying the car.
Could be barbed wire and chicken wire holding together.
But I
We're
think
good.
I'm going to reupholster it to original because I found out that it's so unusual to have tufted broadcloth in a marathon. So I think I'm going to do that again.
So So this is called tufted broadcloth.
Yeah, this is the broadcloth option.
Okay.
And then tufting is those buttons.
the
That's
buttons.
Yeah, tufted broadcloth.
So have you ever seen any other examples of
Never.
it? Oh, so yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
gotta,
I've seen literature that
Yeah.
this was an option.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I've never seen another.
And how's the back? You're gonna
Equally crappy.
But again, you didn't repaint the floors. Look at the shine on the floors.
Yeah. Well, it turns out, the leak made the carpet spongy and wet and stink.
Right.
Moldy, and so Welsh and his dad ripped it out.
Of course.
So I bought it this way.
Okay.
Which was good though. I got to see what I was getting, right?
Yeah, exactly. But damn, look how solid that is. Damn, I shouldn't say that. We're videotaping. Darn, look how solid that is. Well, great.
Those rockers in there, they're Pinkuses. I sent them. I took them home from Kalamazoo to show my guy so he could remake them.
Remake them. Okay. Well, thank you, Ed. Appreciate the little chat on this. And,
You bet.
You're definitely making progress, and it's great to see it. And look at the one comment.
One paycheck
Look at that dash. That's like the best looking marathon dash I've ever seen.
I wish I could get the glove box closed. I did buy a new latch.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find a clip to hold that up, but look at the top of it. I mean, that is straight. I don't see waves. It doesn't look like it's falling apart.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was
real.
really well cared for.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, great. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Okay. Joe Fay here, broadcasting live, and things are wrapping up. You can see here some of our friends from the CC of A are here with Mike Pincus, and we're getting rocker panels.
Hey, Joe, he has the original beaded seat.
I
know
know.
that?
I know. We did the whole tour. We did. We
Oh,
videotaped. We
Are you
videotaped.
live now?
I'm live right now.
What you can't tell, because you don't have smell-o-vision yet, is that this smells like cheap Christmas tree air fresheners for the vintage New York experience.
It's that original.
The owners used to swap them out for comfort.
Ah, cool.
No, I mean, you're filming.
Oh
Yes.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
you're
We are.
filming.
We are filming.
Right.
We are live.
I shall guard my words, because Michael will hear them. But I'm a little worried about his exhaust leak and his ride home.
There you go. And here's Mr. BB as well. We just want to say hello.
Hello.
This is your car. We can look at it while we're waiting for Mike. Oh, here goes Mike now.
Mike now.
I can hear it. Right at the donut? Originally, yeah, probably. Just right there. Just text us if you need help.
Yes. I'm only on 7 years.
Safe travels.